Philosophy is to recast your knowledge anew every day. Try to see, discuss, analyze, and then come to your own, reach to your own conclusions. We enjoy philosophy. Do you enjoy? Although philosophy enjoys us also, Philosophy enjoys us, becoming fat and we become weak, Because when you philosophize, you are always thinking. Nowhere is man as alone as in philosophy, says Hegel. Hegel says this. Who says this? Hegel. So man is alone in philosophy because no one is going with you when you are thinking. You are alone. But sometimes we have to be together. That is class. That is seminar. That is debate. I like to travel a lot. I travel a lot. And I contemplate a lot, Contemplate. I meditate also a little bit, not much. Meditation? Yeah. Sufis do this. And philosophers also meditate sometimes, but not much. So this was something, because tomorrow I'll be leaving, so maybe some other time we are meeting, inshallah. God willing. There is possibility that I may come again, inshallah. And that time I was just trying to know myself and then thyself also. You know who said this? Socrates. Know thyself. But unless I know yourself, I can't know myself. Because there is self. You have self, I have self. I am philosophizing. So I was trying to know your level, your understanding of the subject so that I may be able to communicate with you. Problem is of the communication. When we don't have same language, how to communicate your thoughts? Very difficult. But there are some ways to communicate. So that I am trying to communicate. Now, for a few days, I have been trying to come to the level of teachers, students, whosoever is there to understand him and her and then make my viewpoint clear to her or him. So today I will be doing the same thing. So first thing is today, Islamization of knowledge. What do we mean by Islamization of knowledge? It's a new concept. So, but before that, we need to know why we need Islamization. Because in modern world, mostly philosophy, science, everything is patterned of the atheistic philosophy. Atheistic. Atheistic? Where there is no concept of God. Materialism? Where matter is everything. Utilitarianism? Where utility is hedonism also. So why we need now such philosophies? Next, which is a different philosophy from materialism, from atheism, from pragmatism. In the Western context, there are some very, very, very dangerous philosophies where there is no scope for religion. I have talked about that. So here I have given the vision of the person who has started this movement of Islamization. So he says that how long are we going to be content ourselves with the crumbs that the West is throwing at us. They give us some knowledge, we accept that. Even about our own culture, our own philosophy. It may be Hinduism, it may be Islam, it may be Christianity. Whatever the Western scholars say, we accept that as gospel truth. So we need to repattern, reshape our knowledge in the light of our own cultural values, our own ethos. So this is basically the purpose of integration of knowledge. And when we talk about epistemology, do you know what is epistemology? Do you know something about epistemology? So some questions I will ask next. Some questions, then we can understand what is epistemology. So there are some questions. Why we need to talk about Islamization of knowledge? Basically, this Islamization of knowledge is a movement about knowledge. That is known as epistemology. Epistemology means theory of knowledge. What are the sources of knowledge? What is the scope of knowledge? What are the limitations of knowledge? Where can we get knowledge of external world, ourselves, and other minds? That is known as epistemology. And that is known in Arabic as ilmiyat. What is that known as? Ilmiyat. Al-ilm. Ilmiyat. Ilmiyat, you're right. And now there was a movement which was known as Islamism of knowledge. So how this movement can be related with our past? So whether there was anything in the earlier times when Muslims, for example, they tried to understand Greek philosophy and then make commentaries on that, then make criticism on that, then try to make their own assessment about knowledge and bring a new theory of knowledge. It has happened already. And that is known as tajdeed. Tajdeed means to renovate. Something is with you, now you want to make it actually what actually it should have been, if there was some influence from our side. So I want to say that Greek philosophy had been translated into Arabic. I have given lectures on that. And I have shown the 6 stages of Muslim philosophy. You were present that day perhaps. And then I have told you how the philosophy of Greeks was transformed into a Muslim philosophy. Then in Muslim philosophy, there was a stage where people make commentaries on the books of the Greeks. And then they started making critique of the books and the ideas and the thoughts and the philosophies. And later on they thought, no, we need to have our own philosophy. That I said as Islamization of philosophy. I have mentioned about that. So this was already there, this movement. It's not new. It has taken place long back by the hands of Ghazali, Ibn Taymiyyah, and others. So it is not new in that sense. In every age, in every time, every community tries to locate its past, its traditions, its values back, legacy. But you know, in the world, when you are powerful, you are strong, your philosophy becomes also strong. Your worldview becomes also strong. Your culture becomes also strong. As Dr. Ali Shariti of Iran says, when a man becomes poor, his culture is considered to be nonsense. But when a man becomes rich, his nonsense becomes culture. Who says this? Ali Shariti of Iran. When you become poor, no one cares for your culture, your values. But when you are rich, you are strong, you have science, you have technology, you have control on media, you have control on sea and oceans and on heavens and earth and sky. You can go to moon, you can go to Mars. Everyone cares for you. But when you are weak, you are not able to walk on the roadside. It happens. So same is the case with Muslims nowadays and Eastern world, that we are now weak. We are not dominant, we are weak. Because we don't have education, we don't have technology, we don't have science. We have but very less. We are dependent on powerful nations for small things. Whatever they say, we have to accept because we have no other option. So this is the point. At that stage of time, now you want to see your own legacy, your own culture. Where from I am? What are my, past achievements? Who were my ancestors? Whether I have some culture, whether I have civilization, I have some values. To search for those values, to go back to your legacy, that is known as tajdeed, reformation. And that is also ijtihad. You know ijtihad? Ijtihad means to use your mind to reach to some solutions for the problems you are facing. And every time has some new challenges for you. How to live up to the challenges, expectations of the times, that is ijtihad. Ijtihad is not only in fiqh jurisprudence, it is in philosophy. it is in science, it is in technology. Every scientist makes some new invention. That is his ijtihad. A judge makes a good decision. That is his ijtihad. A woman makes a good dish. It is her ijtihad. So you make some new dish out of many dishes, and you stitch some good clothes, new dresses. That is the ijtihad of a tailor. But when we talk about civilization, when we talk about culture, science, philosophy, so people think about new theories. That is their ijtihad. So this is a type of ijtihad in that sense, although it was there long back. But according to modern needs and requirements, how we can make it viable, how we can understand modern world, modern philosophies, modern challenges, and try to make ourselves to understand those challenges and respond to those challenges. Because you have to live in your own world, in your own country. But how to live gracefully, peacefully, and with dignity, you have to stand on your own feet. You cannot depend on others for everything, especially for thought, for culture, for philosophy, for epistemology, theory of knowledge. So this is basically Tajdeed wa Ihya. And has this movement which has started basically it started in USA. This Islamist movement started in USA. Has it achieved its goals? Yeah. It has created about 3 universities. One university is in Malaysia. You know, IIUM, International Islamic University of Malaysia. Second university in Pakistan, International Islamic University, Pakistan, Islamabad. And there is one university in Khartoum. And then there is triple IIT, International Institute of Islamic Thought. So it means that the purpose has been to a great extent achieved, and they have produced great scholars. They have produced great books. In Indonesia, there is also the headquarters of this movement, triple IIT, Dr. Habib Khirzan, you know? Dr. Habib Khirzan, he is from Indonesia. He is from Maglong, Borobudur. So he is in charge of triple IIT chapter here. So they are doing work. They are doing seminars, workshops. They write books. They write textbooks. They have. So this was something about has this movement achieved its goals. So now, why we need this movement at all? Can we operate this? So why we need this movement at all? Basically, I have given some details about the validity of the movement. So you can say, in modern times, there have been many challenges. We have talked about that. I will not go in details because that will be very much, not to make cumbersome for you. I just want to come up to your level. For example, we have different philosophies. We have materialism, we have atheism, we have consumerism. So these are some of the philosophies which don't allow any value, which don't allow any belief. So how to keep your belief intact? You are a Muslim, you are a Hindu, you are a Christian, you are a Jew. You want to be a Jew, a Muslim, a Christian, and keep your belief intact, and also be scientific, be philosopher, be a good businessman, be a scholar, be an engineer. So, but you need to have some philosophy of your life, because every subject has some philosophy. Philosophy of science, philosophy of political science, philosophy of social sciences. So what is that philosophy? In the West, it is secularism, it is materialism, it is atheism, it is naturalism, it is positivism. But as a Muslim, what philosophy you can believe in? That is Tawheed. You have to pattern your thought according to Tawheed. Then you can go ahead. For example, if you are a scientist who does not believe in God, you will say this world has come out of its own. There is no creator. Or you will say there is no soul. Everything is matter. Materialism. Or you will say no, we don't know there is God or there is God. Agnosticism. There are different philosophies. Or you may say, okay, there may be God, but he has nothing to do with our practical life. That is secularism. Secularism means triumph of reason over faith. So faith will not decide, it will be reason. And whatever reason you have, you can decide about your matters. And in this way, there are different philosophies. Hedonism, you know hedonism? Ethical philosophy. Maximum pleasure of a person. You just enjoy life, you don't care for what is halal and what is haram, what is right and what is wrong. Utilitarianism, maximum pleasure of the maximum number of people. And clash of civilizations. If your civilization is strong, it will clash with another civilization. So you have philosophy for everything. But if you are a Muslim, what is your philosophy? You believe that I have to one day be responsible for my actions. I have to be accounting. I will be going to God. He will ask me. And I have some responsibilities for the world. I am a Khalifa. So what I should do with the responsibilities? I am also the servant of God. I have to worship also. I have not only eat and enjoy. I have some responsibilities. So you need a philosophy for that. Ethics is that philosophy. Tawheed is metaphysical philosophy for you. And for science you have Islam of knowledge. How to develop your own thought about everything. For example, you are a scientist. You are a physicist. You are thinking about the universe. But you say this world has come on its own, as the Western scholars say nowadays, as Stephen Hawking says, or Steven Menberg says, or Julian Huxley says, this world has come on its own to existence. There is no creator. They believe in this. As Julian Huxley says, if we take some monkeys into a room and give them a typewriter, whom we want to give monkeys typewriter and they will keep on typing. One fine morning, after typing for hundreds of years, they will compose a best sonnet of Shakespeare. Is it possible? Is it possible? It does not seem possible, but she says it is possible. So the blind forces of the universe have worked together and they have created the universe. See, this is the belief of Julian Huxley. And then our Darwin, your friend, Darwin, you know, he said that man was basically animal. Then he became man because he lost his tail. He had lost the thing, he had tail. Now there is no tail. He stood on his feet and he now says evolution, philosophy of evolution, Darwin. And Marx says, man was really animal, but he was going in the process of evolution. And when evolution took place, finally man lost his tail. Now he stood up on his feet. Now he started making tools. Previously he was making new organs of body, and last organ was tail. And that was lost. Now what will man do? He will make tools. Man the tool maker. This is the purpose of man in the world. This is worship. Work is worship. He does not know to go to masjid. He does not know to temple. He does not know to go to church. Because religion is the opium of masses, says Marx. It is the heart of heartless, soul of soulless. It is the condition of the oppressed circumstances. It is opium of masses. And then another person says, there is no God, Musbillah. Nietzsche says, he says, I have killed all the gods so that man may live in freedom. He had some arrow in his hand. Who? Nietzsche. He's a philosopher. So he said, I have killed all the gods so that man may live in freedom. This is the philosophy about the world, how this world has come to existence. And there is another scientist whose name is Steven Menberg. He says that there are 3 minutes only after the Big Bang when this world came to existence. He does not believe in God. This world has come to exist on its own. Same is the view of Stephen Hawking. He says there was Big Bang And this world started with Big Bang. What was before Big Bang? Nothing. Nothing. And who brought Big Bang? No one. And this world is continuing. There was possible beginning and there is definite end. Later on he changes, no, there was no beginning and there will be no end. What will say? This is his philosophy. But when you want to study world, you are a scientist, you are a philosopher, you are a thinker, but you are a Christian, you are Hindu, you are Muslim. How you will study the universe? You believe that there is God. You see those all signs are of God. Moon is God, God is sign, and the sun is sign of God, mountains are sign of God, and this word takes you back to God. As I told you last time, Bacon says, little bit of philosophy may take you to atheism, but when you go deep into philosophy, you reach to God. You are not able to explain everything without God. Who has created you? Who has created the universe? So you need a philosophy for that. That is religious belief. That is the teachings of your religion, whatever religion you may. That is Islamic knowledge. That what Islam can talk about these issues, physics, social sciences, and purpose of life. And especially what are the sources of knowledge? How many sources of knowledge we have in philosophy, we have discussed about that. And I have been discussing this all these days. We had a lecture 2 days back, intuition, a reason, sense perception and revelation. So according to modern science, there is only one source of knowledge, that is sense perception. Whatever you see, that is real. Logical positivism, they say only this much. And then we make some rational conclusions on the basis of our impressions. As Locke would say, as Hume would say, you know Hume? You know Hume little bit? David Hume? You are new boys, it's a new, it is the first batch. Is this first batch or second batch? Second. So you have some knowledge about Locke and Hume. Do you know anything about Hume or Locke? Then I will tell you, because I want to tell you, that's the point. You want to know? Okay, good. So now there are basically in philosophy two schools of thought. One school of thought is empiricists. What are they known as? Empiricists. Empiricist means who believes in sense perception, that whatever knowledge is gained, that is gained through sense perception. When a man is born, his mind is like tabula rasa. It says Locke, John Locke. When a boy is born, he does not know anything. So his mind is just like a blank chamber, wide blackboard. So whatever we write on our mind, that is on the basis of our experience. And where from the experience comes? From impressions which we see. For example, I was not knowing you. Now I know you. I know a naughty boy. I will not tell who he is. And I like naughty boys. You know this? Because I was also naughty. When I was doing BA and MA, I was very naughty boy. And I like naughty boys, Once I was in Bombay. Mumbai is very famous for film industry. Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan, Yeah. So I had gone there, Bombay, for lecturing in college. There were girls and boys. One boy was making very great noise. He was creating problems. I was thinking that this boy will create problem in class. Although I like naughty boys, but I thought he will create problem. He will not allow. Then he was sitting there side. I told him, dear, what's your name? He stood up. He said, my name is Raju or something. Then I told him, sit down. And he sat down and he did not talk. Because I supported him. I knew that he is the person. Because I was knowing I was also naughty boy. I can control naughty boys. But boys and girls in the youth have to be naughty sometimes. You can't be very serious philosophers, thinking about this and that. You have to be a little bit easygoing. But not that much that you will leave your class. No. You will not study. You will not go to library? No. But you have to also, sometimes you should have some free moments. When you can talk, you can laugh. Philosophy should not become that serious that you will lose everything. No. But you have to be serious also. You have to be serious also. Sometimes when you need to be serious. Otherwise you will never become great. So my point was, now one source of knowledge is sense perception. Whatever we see, that is real. I was not knowing you, now I know you. Why? Because I saw you. So first source was my sense perception. When I had the sense perception, that is known as images, impression. And this impression became idea. Now I have idea about you. If you meet me in the way, I know you are my students. But before that I was not knowing. Had I not seen you, I would have not got any idea of you. So first is impression, the impression becoming idea. Now idea, I have got idea. Now I make association of ideas. I make association. He is the boy. He is living in Yogyakarta. He is studying in UGM. He is doing UGM. Huh? UGM. Yeah. And he is also, doing his masters or he is doing bachelor's in philosophy. So these are now association of ideas. I got knowledge. My impression became idea, ideas became knowledge. This is the only source of knowledge. This is known as empiricism. Understood? Because I have to tell you, because I was not knowing that much that you need these basic concepts made clear. I was thinking that you may have already some knowledge of these things. And second school of thought is, when you are born, you have some ideas. One idea is of God, says Descartes, René Descartes. When a boy is born, he has innate ideas. One idea is God, idea of God. So it means that without experience you have ideas. But according to empiricism, without experience you can't have idea. And when you don't have impression, then you can't have idea, then you can't have knowledge. So knowledge is based on our experience. So this is the approach of science to knowledge. But there is no scope for other knowledge. For example, intuition. For example, revelation. What will be after death? Because we don't know what will be happening after death. Because we don't have impression about death. What is soul? We don't have any impression about soul. Have we seen soul? We have not seen soul. What is the knowledge of soul if you go by this empiricist philosophy? There is no soul there. They deny soul. Can we see God? We can't see. Because we are not able to see, how we can believe? Because we can only believe that thing which is given to our senses, of which we can make idea on the basis of our impressions. And on the basis of our ideas, we can make knowledge. But when we don't have an impression, we have no perception, we don't have sensory knowledge of something, how we can believe in that? Whether we should be good or bad, why we should be good? I will say that no, maybe we believe that because we have to die one day and we have to be asked what you are good or bad. But when you don't believe in life after, because you don't see that life after, you believe only in that which you see. So then you don't believe in life after also. But if you go by rationalism, then Kant will come. He is a rationalist. He will say, no, if you want to be good, you need some beliefs. If you believe that after death we die and we will not be given new life, then why you should be good? And then he says, no, we need some postulates of morality. We can be only moral when we believe in something. We need to believe in God. We need to believe in life here after death. We need to believe in immortality of soul. This is source of knowledge. And then there is third source of knowledge, that's intuition. So now you believe that senses are okay, reason is okay, but there is another source of knowledge, that is intuition. As a Sufi has intuition. He is meditating, he gets some knowledge. Buddha had intuition. Buddha. Buddha got some knowledge. He told the people accepted. A new world came. Prophets had knowledge, that is revelation. That came from above. And then they told about that to the people. People were changed. Their life was changed. Civilization was created. New science was created. New world was created. New society was created. So what was that source? That was revelation. What was the source of knowledge of the Sufis? Intuition. So there are other sources of knowledge, not only sense perception, not only reason, but there is also intuition. There's also revelation. That is integration of knowledge. How to integrate that knowledge with our knowledge, which is based on intuition and revelation. Where we have values, where we have ethics, where we have belief in God, where we have belief in life after, where we think that we are not animals, we have not come from the amoeba, then we became gorillas, then we became chimpanzees, as Darwin would say. Then we lost our tail and we stood up. Now we start making tools. We were humans. We are the best creations. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. We have created man on the best shape, not as monkey. Man was not monkey, not was he donkey. Man was neither monkey nor donkey. He was man. Because God has created him as man, not as animal. But when you believe only a source of knowledge is sense perception, you say no, man might have been no animal. Or you believe that there's only matter, not so. You said there is materialism. Man has been always just like a machine making animal. So in this way, this is something. Epistemology means theory of knowledge. What are the sources of knowledge? Sense perception, reason, intuition, and revelation. But what is the ultimate knowledge? Knowledge of revelation. Because we came to know about what is halal, what is haram, what is good, what is bad only through revelation, through books, scriptures, Quran, Torah, Bible. Otherwise, how we could reach to these truths? By our own reason. Because reason is not able to tell us about God. What reason can tell us? Because reason does not have any access to God. So who has access to God? Prophets. They tell us about God. They give us books. They give us knowledge. So integration of knowledge means we have to bring back a revelation to science, to philosophy, to epistemology, where we believe not only in one source of knowledge, but 4 sources of knowledge at least. So this is Islam version of knowledge. Islam version of knowledge means man has been created as vigilant of God, Khalifa. And he has to do a work in this world. He has not come here to enjoy only. He has to perform some duties. He has been created as Banda, that is Ibadah. He has to do his worship of God. Man has been given responsibilities. He has been given amana. He is not, he is not without responsibility. He is having responsibility. He has to take care of his relatives, his parents, his neighbors, his children, his friends, his fellows. So who will tell this? Revelation, the ethics. So new ethics came through religion. So this is known as integration of knowledge. And the source of that revelation is, that integration is, that is revelation. You understood now? This is integration, and this is a movement we started in USA. And one person whose name was Ismail Raji Faruqi. He was studying in Temple University. He was the student of philosophy. He studied Western philosophy. And he studied Islamic philosophy also. He went to Azhar, as our scholar from Azhar is here, my friend. My best friend in Indonesia. He may be also your best friend, I think so. He's a very nice man, I should not say boy. Because I take sometimes no liberty. I am very friendly with my friends and my students. I am not very serious in class, no? If we'll be serious in class, then students will be also serious, then they will lose interest. I want to joke sometimes, I want to talk, I want to tease sometimes, that's very important. Because we have to be like human beings, not as angels, no? We are human beings. Okay, so in this way, he was in USA. Then he went to Azhar University. He studied Western philosophy and he studied Islamic philosophy. And then he came back. Then he found that what is going on in the Western universities. The people from Indonesia are going to USA, from Malaysia are going to USA, from Iran are going to USA, Muslim countries are going to USA, but they are losing their identity there. They lose their religion, they lose their morality, they lose their identity. So how to control this? Because if they lose their identity, they will be lost for all time. When you lose your identity, you are nothing. You have to keep your identity intact wherever you are. So he thought what we can do. He said the basic problem is modern Western education and philosophy, which is based on empiricism, positivism, and we need to give a new shape to this philosophy. And then he started a movement known as Islam Mission of Knowledge, and first meeting of that was held at Makkah in 1977, in which Hussein Nasr and great scholars of Islamic world assembled, and then they decided that we need to make a new program. And that program was known as Islam Mission of Knowledge. This word has been first coined by Naqib al-Atas. He is from Malaysia. Then other people came with this movement, Abu Hamid, Abu Sulaiman, and then they started an institute that is known as Institute of Islamic Thought, that is in Washington. And then they made 3 universities, as I said. One university is Malaysia, second is Pakistan, third is Khartoum. And they have other institutions also. So this is the movement which is going on worldwide. It has achieved many of its goals, and it is just also trying to spearhead philosophical studies, epistemological studies, and we have many workshops. We have many textbook writing workshops. Last year we had in our university also. So this is something about this. Now I will just try to wind it up, and because then you may have some questions. That is better if you have questions, because only I speak, you listening, that is not good. We need both way traffic. You have to also speak, I have to also speak, not only me. Because you are so many heads and you are so many eyes, you are so many ears. So you also think, you also ask questions, then we can create some understanding. So I have told you a little bit because I was understanding that it's very difficult to tell you everything about the movement. This is first lecture for you on the subject. So today I will just talk only about this, and now I will open your questions. If you have some questions about the subject, you can ask. Whatever I said, if you want some explanation, I can give you that. So I think that at least something I have tried to convey to you, although it was not that much detailed. So next time when I will be coming, I will try to give you one by one, every subject I will give different lectures. That will be easier for you. First I will tell you what is empiricism, then what is rationalism, then what is intuitionism, then what is relationism. Then otherwise you will not be understanding what I want to say. So today I just gave you just introduction about the subject, and I gave you a very faint idea what we mean by integration of knowledge and integration of epistemology in the context of Islam Mission of Knowledge. Thank you.